So you sat there wondering, why do you need a continuous loop? What uses is it going to have to you? Well, you see, really, you don't need one, because all you can do is just get a piece of paracord and tie a little knot on it, make it a loop, and there you go. You can use that. But the problem with that is that you always got that knot there hindering you. Sometimes it slips in the wrong place and anything like that. Not nice, not great, not the best. Nice and clean, one continuous loop. That's what it is, continuous loop, because you got no knots on it and no frays, no nothing on it. So what would you use that for? Absolutely versatile. You got your favorite knife, pop it through there. There you go. Now you've got a lanyard, pop it onto a carabiner. If your saw doesn't have a lanyard, continuous loop through your saw. There you go, ready to attach to your bag or to your side onto a carabiner or something like that. Hook it up on the tree. Lots of things. Another good example, which I did a video a couple months ago, continuous loop on your hammock. So no knots, nice and strong, versatile, and saves you a lot of space as well. Prussic knots, for example, is another one. There you go. You got your prussic knot there. Very strong, brilliant thing to have when you're outdoors. So basically, do you need it for bushcraft and wild camping and so forth? Yes, I'd say you do. And you do because it's versatile, it's strong. So when you go out wild camping, you got a few of them, or you can even make multiple. I've got about 6 or 7 of them in my bag, and I use them for a lot of things. Sometimes I strap stuff to it and I hook it up on a tree or something like that. Absolutely brilliant. So I would say, yes, they're simple to make, they're strong, they're neat, lightweight, and very useful. So if you want to learn how to make this, just carry on watching the video, and I've got an in-depth tutorial on how to create this continuous loop. Hello everyone, and welcome to UK Northern Adventures. I'm doing a tutorial session, and the one I'm doing is an endless loop. So the endless loop we're going to create today is out of 50/50 paracord. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the inside strands out of the paracord, because honestly, for what I'm using it, I don't need it to be super strong. I just need it to be strong enough to taut my tarp and keep it there. So let's start. Basically, what you need is 50/50 paracord. And we're going to measure out the following. For the one I want to make, I want it to be about 300 mil long. So if we lay the paracord on this ruler here, and we measure out 300. So this is more or less how long I want it to be. So we're going to double that, another 300, and that's 600. And then we're going to measure another 200, which is 20 centimeters. And we can cut that off there. Right, so now we've got that. And what we want to do now is we're going to measure 100 in. And that's how much it's going to go inside the paracord. But before we do that, we're going to measure 40 in so that we can fray it, and then the rest of the 60 is going to be hidden. But that fray is just going to allow us to feed it through, and it's sort of going to allow a continuous strand to go through inside when we milk it, because we don't want it to be like bulky at one section. So if we put it there, and you get your marker pen, you mark it 10 centimeters, 100 mil, and 40 mil, 4 centimeters, and then you turn around and you do exactly the same on this end here. So 100 mil, and then 40 mil. And then what you're going to do is you're going to open it up, and and you're going to try and carefully remove the internal strand from it. Right? So at your 100, that's where you're going to pierce it to loop it through, but we'll get to that in a bit. At the moment, we're just going to fray this out like that. You could actually just attempt to take half of the strands out, but honestly this is going to be buried, and for what it is, it's no point going through so much trouble. Then we're going to do exactly the same to this end. So we're just going to start at the tip and we're going to fray it all up to the 40mm mark. Now that we got it frayed, just going to take the knife or a pair of scissors. Actually, in this case, a pair of scissors might actually be better. So we're going to take the pair of scissors and we're just going to trim off like that. You don't have to trim off that much in any case. It's just to make it like it's just to fray it and sort of thin it out a bit. You might want to get a good pair of scissors when you do this, not one that your kids has been dragging through the house. Okay, so I've got a little paracord needle that I use, and I've also got this knife which has got this hook on, which there's a technical name for that, but I can't remember. I should have revised it before I started the tutorial, but hey, we're not perfect, are we? We are just to demonstrate how to do this endless loop. So with this needle, we're just gonna open it up a bit like that. Just leave that in place for the moment. And then if we stick your draw wire through, which guys, honestly, you can go out and you can go buy all sorts of fancy draw wires and jaw hooks and stuff like that, but if you just got a bit of copper electrical wire lying around, just use that. It's cheap, and your recycling material you got around the house, so it works both ways. You end up saving money and end up saving the environment as well, which is always a good thing. So you get that through that first loop there, and you bring that all the way through just before your mark. So that little mark that you made at 100mm, you don't want that to go over. So then what we do, we get that needle again and we create another hole through the paracord like that, and then we're putting the jaw wire through again, and this time we take this end here feed that through your jaw wire, bring it to round about halfway of your fray that you've done, and then just gently entice it through that there. Now what you're left with is something like this. So basically that's going to be more or less the length of your continuous loop. So nice and tight like that. And then what you want to do is you want to measure out the strand that goes through and just allow another 40mm or so after that. Put a gather there and gently just stick your needle in to open it up. Like that. Now that you got an opening, just straighten up your wire nicely and just gently push it through there, enticing it right towards the end. And as you get to the end, try and go as close as to where the knot comes out and through like that. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to stick the paracord through again, more or less halfway through the fray. And this can be a bit tricky, just to entice it through. Don't try and force it, just slowly manipulate it, massage it in. And if it doesn't go, then force it. So basically, just manipulate it in so it goes in nicely. There you go, starting to go. And be careful not to pull too hard, otherwise you pull the paracord off the end of your hook wire or draw wire, as some may call it. Right, so that's now through inside. So we're just enticing it through nicely. And then when we come to the end, we're just going to have to persuade it to come out nicely. And to be honest with you, as long as you got it out there, the start, you can now just do that. 1 minute. There you go. So now that's what you've got. So you got a bunch of paracord that's all bundled up over here. And now we're going to do what they call milking it. So you just pull that gently and you'll see that it all sort of hides that paracord that you frayed that came out. It hides that inside the core of your paracord nice and neatly. So we'll do the same to the other side. So we're going to measure around about 40 mil again. There you go. And then we're going to create a gather there and open those strands up like so. Straighten your jaw wire. Now this jaw wire is a little bit thick for the paracord, but it does work. So I believe guitar wire is very good for this. So then we're going to go as close as possible and pull that through again, just like we done with the other side. Open up your jaw wire, stick your paracord through, pull the jaw wire a bit closer, and then put that to more or less the center of your fray, like that, and pinch it tight, like that. So now we pull on that, and we gently massage it and coach it in nicely. Like I said, you don't want to force it in too fast, but you do want to coach it in nice and gently, massage it in. And once it's in, you just take your time in drawing it out to the end until that fray like that starts coming out of the paracord. And then you can just take your hook or needle or whatever you've got and then gently pull this fray out like that. At this point you pull it nice and tight, make sure it's all nice and tight. You let go of your fray and then you milk it gently like that until your fray starts disappearing there. At this point your fray is all gone, it's all tucked in inside, and now what you do, you just pull it all the way through like that so that you close that hole that you created. And now you've got one very, very strong endless loop that you can create a prussic knot with. And it's just short of 300 mil. which in inches I believe is, let's have a look here, because I've got this in inches as well. So it's about just shy of 12 inch. There you go, the endless loop, or as some people call it, continuous loop, out of 50/50 paracord. Wow, that was a long one, even for my standards. But listen, thank you very much for sticking around and watching the whole tutorial. I've got another tutorial that I made months ago. It was about the endless loop, the continuous loop for the hammock. It's a brilliant video. A few people has actually enjoyed that and managed to through that tutorial, they managed to create their own endless loops on their hammocks. It saves you a lot of space, and it's quite strong and versatile. So it's a good hack. I recommend that you watch it. I'm going to put it up next so you can have a look at that. And if you like what you see, please do me a favor, subscribe, like, and leave us a comment down below. I love the comments. Suggest something that you want to see me do, and I'll try my best and get it done for you. Thanks a lot once again, and happy camping.